Hello, my name is Justin Ancheta, and I'm here at Soul Graffiti Studios Remote to demonstrate Ableton 10 Suite with the Ableton PUSH 2. I'm in session view right now, and I'm going to be doing most of my work from session view. So Command-Shift-T creates another Ableton MIDI track. I'm going to do 4 of those, Command-Shift-T 3 times. And then I'm going to click on this little arrow here to the side, and that expands out all of your audio effects and instruments. In Ableton 10 and above, you have favorites. So you can click on your favorites and put the instruments that you plan on using inside the program. So here's what we have. We have our hip-hop sub-bass. I believe I like this Will Marshall's Effects. I'm just going to put it on my master channel for now, but I often do is send a return track. I send and receive to have more control of where I want to send it to. But for demonstration purposes, we'll put it on our master track just by dragging and dropping it into the master channel. That's often what you do with your mastering effects. And let's go ahead and find a drum sound as well. So this is a drum pack. Now what's special about the Ableton Push is right away, whichever track is highlighted on the computer, such as this right here, the Ableton Push instantly tracks where you're at, right? And what's also great is you can also be over here and be hands-off on your computer and use these programs. Another feature is you can tell that the record feature is following the highlighted track, so that wherever you're at, you are ready and record enabled. I'm going to go ahead and diminish the side area. I'm going to turn on the click track so that we can have some tempo. It always starts at 120, but you can put it to whatever you want. Let's just go ahead and do 110, a little bit slower. And the cue out is where you're going to hear the click track. So right now it's in the mains. You could always change it to a different configuration by going to Configure, Output. Make sure that you're in the input and output of your device. I have the Xair 18, and my input and outputs are set to receive stereo and individual tracks. Whatever your device is, you want to make sure that you've engaged enough mono channels for your outputs if you want to have a separate send for your click track. For right now, I'm just going to use 1 and 2, cue out, which is right here, same as your master out, and this right here is showing how much click track you want in your headphone. I'm going to go ahead and press. Alright, so there we have our click track. Now, one thing I want to really make sure that we do is save as before we record anything. Because if we start doing audio tracks, it starts saving to a specific location. I'm going to go Command-D for desktop, and I'll do Ableton 10.1 Demo Push 0.01. This is our first demo. And save this onto our desktop. What that does is it will collect all and save. This is a feature that used to not be that way, but now it does. It's very helpful because whenever you record now, it will go into that file and you'll know where it's at ahead of time. What I do is I find out which sounds I want by checking them all out. All right, there's our hi-hat. So, the great thing about the Ableton Push, it is hands-off. You don't have to always be on your keyboard over here. And we're going to go ahead and press play, which will enable the click track. Now this click track is normally in my ear through my Q out 3 or Q out 3/4, so that only I can hear it. For the sake of this demonstration, it's coming through the main speaker. Now, I just play along with this. Now notice how on the screen over here, these aren't exactly in. And if you were on your computer, you would go Command-Shift-U and press Enter and quantize it. What's special about this program here is that you can actually just press quantize on the Ableton Push, and it instantly puts it right in the exact tempo of the click track. I'll keep that click in until I have my hi-hat. Alright, so our click is in. We're going to also quantize that to make sure it's right with the click. And now that we have some tempo, we can go ahead and just take this click out because we hear where the tempo's at. So there is our drums going on to our bass. Now notice right away when I go to the bass, it's a pretty high register. I'm going to actually go octave down here. And it's set to 1 bar. It comes in on the 1. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, same thing again. I want to make sure that I quantize that. Press quantize right away. You can then extend and lengthen and shorten notes the way that you want. So now we have our drums and bass. And let's just go ahead and look at something brand new in our instrument packs. Now we have our channel 3 and 4 wide open right now. And we want to make sure that we can then put in a new instrument, something that can kind of go over the top, some kind of pad, Neo Soul Glide pad. So you just drag and drop into the MIDI track. This has customized settings that you can move. It should make sounds right away from wherever the preset is at. So that's an instrument we can just try out here. Let's go ahead and try the track out, pressing the space bar. And recording. So that didn't catch because I pressed the record a little bit late, but you can always go ahead and change the spacing to be right where you want it to be just by sliding that in. This is in loop mode. You can see it right here on the screen. If this is off, it will just play one time and then turn off. In loop mode, it'll just continue until you stop the track. So now that you have a couple different sounds, let's go ahead and do one more sound here. Good. You can always stop it just by pressing the record button again. I'm going to quantize this. Because it's so ambient, the quantize isn't quite necessary. So now that we have this going on, we can change to a different view. What this session view is right here is it actually shows you which track is playing. Here they are, and you can take out any track when you want. So this is a very easy way to lay out your instrumentation and your backing, be able to do some type of instrument live or vocals in this spot, and then when you want to, be able to come back to a little bit of more instrumentation. Literally just dropping an instrument out, like the bass, can do a lot. So, just with these 4 things right here, this is pretty much, this could be an A, B, C, and D part of your song, just by depending on how many instruments are in, right? So we're engaging the tracks in the session mode. Now when I want to go back, I can literally just press note, and it goes back to the different instruments. If you ever want to add in a new note, I'm on drums right now. So I want that note right there. I'm seeing that it's on the second beat of each measure, so I can actually manually just go put those in, and they're quantized exactly to the grid. So the visual that this is giving is really helpful, because you can actually learn where the space of the hi-hat goes with the kick and the snare. This is showing just the open hi-hat sound now. If I click on a different instrument sound, such as the closed hi-hat, it's showing the exact areas right there.